All right, all right. Hope everybody's having a great night tonight. Today we are going to be making the Mario Invincible Star slash Power Star. This here, it's crocheted with worsted weight yarn. I do like using the worsted weight yarn, but you guys can use like thicker yarns if you want to, heavier yarns, plush yarns. They all just kind of work with all my patterns, not just this one, but all of them. You just got to use a bigger hook or whatever is corresponding to that that yarn you guys are using. So the colors you guys are going to need today, just a little bit of white yarn, a little bit of black yarn. Majority of it's going to be the yellow yarn. Again, I do use a 4mm crochet hook. I recommend that with the worsted weight yarn. You can also use a 3.75 hook as well. And then on top of that, you guys will need just a yarn needle and some scissors. That, and then just a little bit of the polyfill or any kind of polyester filling. Okay, so jumping right in, you guys. Let's get this show on the road. So with the star, we're going to start off here with a MR5 magic ring 5. So 5 SCs into a magic ring. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to increase in each of these for a total of 10. That'll be round 2. Increase. 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 Increase and increase. Alright, at this point in time, I like to kind of tighten up that magic ring here. We're going to cut off the little tail. Okay. Alright, and we're going to get a little stitch marker here going. I'm just going to a piece of that white yarn here. Okay, so for row 3, we're going to do SC and an increase 5 times. SC, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, okay. All right, let's move on to round 4. We're gonna do 2 SCs and an increase times 5. Single crochet, and an increase. 1, 2, increase, single crochet, increase. All right, let's move on here. So row 5, we're gonna do single crochet 3 and an increase 5 times. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, next round is going to be 4 and an increase. SE 4 and an increase. 4 SEs and an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, Next will be 5 SCs and an increase. And you should end up with 35 stitches at the end of this. Okay, so you can verify like where we're at here just because we've done those last rows pretty quickly here. So you want to have 35 stitches here total. That was round 7. Now we're going to be moving on to round 8, which will be 6 SCs and an increase. At the end of this round, you just want to make sure you have 40 stitches here. Alright, so round 9, we'll be doing 7 SCs and an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, increase. Okay, now 8 SCs and an increase will be round 10. That'll be a final round here. We're trying to get 50 stitches after. So this will be 45 stitches for row 9 or round 9. Round 10 is going to be 8 SCs and then an increase times 5. We're going to repeat that 5 times for a total of 50 stitches, and that'll be our last round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, increase. All right, so that's 50 stitches right there. This is round 10. We're gonna tie this off right here. Okay, so this is the first part of the star. You're gonna wanna make 2 of these. So this will be the front, and then also we're gonna make one for the back. But it should look kind of hexagonal here like it does. That's exactly what we should be having here. So let's go ahead and make that second one. I'll meet you when that one's done. All right, so we've sewn the second one here now. We created that second one. So one of them is gonna be the back of the star, the other one's gonna be the front side of the star here. Doesn't matter which one, but we're gonna, that side that's the inside of it, those are both gonna be on the inside. So we're gonna fold them kind of like right on top of each other. We're gonna try to align them too, just so where this bend is kind of at the same spot here. So let's just align everything together. All right, and then now we're gonna make one of the arms. I'll make the hardest one here first, which is the one basically right here where we sewed off or tied off this that last stitch from that last round. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a new piece of yellow yarn. We're gonna pull it through. I like to go 1 stitch behind where we tied off. We're gonna chain 1. We're gonna SC right into the same stitch here, and that's 1. So now let's go to the next one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're gonna come around here. We're basically just turning around this entire project. We're gonna go back into that stitch, which is the one right before where we tied off on the other side, or on the other one. We're gonna do 10 SCs here too, so that's 1. We're just kind of connecting them a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is what we got so far. It's connected right here. So now we're gonna loop back around and connect here. So we're basically just making these arms. That's how these arms are formed, is we're crocheting these 2 little pieces together here. So this is gonna be considered round 2 is the next stitch that I do, which is gonna be back into this first one right on this side here. So that's gonna be an SC of 8 and then a decrease, and we're gonna repeat that twice. So going around, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a decrease. Another 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a decrease. And then round 3 is going to be 7 and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochets, then a decrease. We're going to do another 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a decrease there. Next round is going to be 6 single crochets and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a decrease. Another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a decrease. And then the next round is going to be 5 single crochets and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a decrease. And and then another single crochet, 5 and a decrease. 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease. Okay, next round is going to be single crochet 4 and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. Next round is going to be single crochet 3 and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, decrease. 1, 2, 3, decrease. And next round is going to be SC2 and a decrease times 2. That's going to end us up with 6 total stitches. We're going to tie off right after this last row, which will be row or round 8. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. And we're going to tie that off. I like to tie these off by kind of going in between the 2 loops, front loops and the back loops, all 6 times on those last 6 stitches. We're going to pull them really tight and we're going to send that yarn through. Pull tightly, that's going to tighten it up. Send that guy through. This is normally how I just tie off anything that ends with a, actually anything at all, but yeah, if it ends with SE6, then yeah, we're going around the 6 stitches, but if it's like a 5 or 4, we're going around those 4 stitches as well. Alright, so that is basically one of the arms. So our plan is going to be, we're going to do this 5 times, kind of going around, 5 times. So that's going to be the plan, and then what we'll do is we'll stuff this this star probably right before that last one is done. But when we do attach these 2 to each other, you're going to notice that there is a little bit of a gap in between each of these arms. So I'm going to show you guys how to sew that together too. So let's do one more here, and I'll show you guys what's going on, what I mean by that. Okay, so here we're going to start off on this stitch here, which is basically one pass where we ended here. Chain 1, remember, single crochet back into the same stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to turn this way. We're going to count 10 stitches backwards from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That guy. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're going to connect all these pieces here, and that will be our round 2, which will be single crochet 8 and a decrease twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, next round is going to be 7 and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Decrease. Next round is going to be 6 SCs and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a decrease. Next round is going to be 5 and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Decrease. Next one's going to be 4 SCs and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decrease. Next one's going to be SC3 and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. And then last round's going to be 2 SCs and a decrease. Which end us back at 6 stitches. And we'll tie that off, and then the second arm will be done here. Okay, tie it off. Alright. So after I tie this off, I'm just going to show you what I was talking about how like there's a little gap in between where these two arms are, where we're just going to kind of tighten that up a little bit just to make it look a little cleaner. So let's tie this off first. Okay, we are tied off. Okay, so as you can see, there's kind of like a little bit of a hole here in between where those two arms are, but we do have some leftover yarn here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this yarn to just kind of arbitrarily kind of tie these little pieces together a little bit so it looks a little bit nicer here. So I'm going to actually, I can't really see too well, so I'm going to flip it, invert this inside out forward so I kind of sew these pieces together here. So again, I'm just kind of arbitrarily just sewing a couple spots together here. Okay, so as you can see, it's much nicer here. It's much more closed off. You can see that. So that's kind of what we want. We just don't want there to be holes in there. And then on the other side, you just kind of tie these two together, or you can just sew it in if it's just one piece. So basically this is what we're doing, but we're going to be doing this like all the way around the body here. So you can see there's 3 more spots where we have to do that exact same thing that we just did. I'm gonna, for the sake of the video, just do these two sped up a little bit here. And then I will meet you guys before we finish that last one, because that's where things are gonna change a little bit. But let's work on these two now. Remember, again, we're just kind of counting 10 and then 10, 10 and then 10 rows around here. And then just repeat what we had been doing for these two ones here. All right.
Hi, I'm Michael from Knotmonster. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please take the time to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can be the first to see my new videos and new content. If you want to learn more about crochet or you want to see more patterns, I have an Etsy store. Check it out. It's knotmonster.etsy.com. Or if you want a paperback version, I do have books on Amazon. I've got books such as my Pink Edition book, my Balloon Animal book, and my Knotmonsters Potted Plant book. Those are all available paperback copies at Amazon. Just search Knotmonsters in the search bar. Anyways, let's get back to the crochet.
All right, so we just finished the other two arms here. So all we have left is this back arm. So once you have just one of these arms left, that's when we're gonna want to try to stuff this thing. So typically, we're gonna try to get the smaller points here stuffed first, so it looks correct. So let's try to get the stuffing in here. We're gonna stuff those ends here really nicely. Yeah, you're gonna want to try to stuff this pretty firmly here too. Pretty firmly. Alright. I want a floppy star here, so. Stuff this thing pretty firmly. Make sure every arm is stuffed. Alright, so I think that's stuffed pretty nicely here. Alright, so we've pretty much stuffed this, and we've just got this one last arm to do, so let's finish up this one arm. Chain one, single crochet back into that same chain, not the same chain, the same stitch you did the chain in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna go around the other side, another single crochet 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, so now let's go around and single crochet 8 and a decrease times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, decrease, another single crochet 8, and another decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Decrease. Let's do single crochet 7 and a decrease. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 6 single crochets and a decrease. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a decrease. Which round's gonna be 5 and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times 2, 4 C's and a decrease times 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, a decrease. I'm probably gonna start stuffing here actually, so let me just pull that out here. We're gonna try to get this a little stuffed here before we can't get anything down there. So let's start to stuff this a little bit. Let's go ahead and stuff that star here. I'm gonna stuff this last arm, otherwise when we close it, we're not gonna be able to get in there with the stuffing. So we're gonna stuff as much as we can. Okay. And it's stuffed a little firmly there, but we're going to push the rest upwards into the tip of the star here. Okay, so we are on row 7 now, so that's an SC3 and then a decrease times 2. I don't need this anymore, really. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. 1, 2, last round, SC2 and a decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. All right, let's tie this off. Okay, so that's been tied off here. Go ahead and tie this off. Cut it, and then we're gonna have to, because this is a little malformed here obviously, so I'm gonna have to push all of that stuffing out to where it's supposed to go to. Okay, so it looks pretty good here. So let's tie off these loose ends and let's kind of close up these gaps in between where these arms are. Again, I'm just picking kind of just random areas to go in here, but the plan is just so that it's not like sticking out. Tie this off over here. Then we've got, you see we've got 3 on here. So I'm going to tie off 2 of these just to get rid of them. And then we'll use the last one to kind of sew off the gap here. So these 2, I just kind of want to move them inside a little bit. So I'm going to send them inside a little bit here so we don't have to mess with those later. Alright, so let's use this one to kind of sew this thing shut too. Okay. Alright, so our star is completed here. So there's your star. So now the next step is to get the little eyeballs for him. You can see here, we're gonna get the little eyeballs for him. So let's get our black yarn and our white yarn ready, and then we're gonna start these eyeballs. Alright, so to start the eyeball, basically just making kind of an oval here. So using your black yarn, you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to SC6 this way, SC6 that way. We're going to end up with 12 single crochets and then basically tie it off, and that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like 6 SCs on one side of the chain, 6 SCs on the other side of the chain. This is called creating an oval. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just slip back into this first stitch here, and that's basically going to tie it off. Okay, so now let's make the eyeball, which is basically just some white yarn. So just take like a thread of white yarn, and we're gonna kind of just go through the same spot here just to make that little eyeball. I like to pick the same spot here. Just gonna pick a random area here. We're gonna send this white yarn through a few times. Probably send it through like 3 times to make it a little thicker, you know. Get that real glisten in his eyeballs. All right, so there we go. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna tie off this. Cut off these loose ends here. And that is our eyeball. All right, so let's make a second one. I'll meet you after the second one. All right, so just finished that second eyeball here. So we've got our eyes. Okay, now we've got our body. We're just gonna sew these eyes onto the body here. So I do like to have them kind of like a little bit closer to each other. I think that's a better look. Kind of farther apart. I mean, I don't know. I mean, whatever you guys want to do, okay? But I mean, that's kind of cute too. But yeah, I think they're supposed to be a little bit closer. So I'm gonna sew them kind of like closer here, and then we'll just kind of see how it looks. You can always change it too as well if you don't like where the position of the eyes are. Just kind of move them around a little bit. Okay, let's sew this eyeball on here. Happy with the position of that. Now we just attach the other eyeball here. And I'll show you how that looks like after I attach it. Alright guys, so we got the second eyeball on here. That's the Invincible star. I hope you guys enjoyed this pattern. I hope you had as much fun as I did making it. Thanks for spending your evening or morning with me while making these. if you guys enjoy these patterns, enjoy these videos too as well, I always appreciate the support. Please like, subscribe. And yeah, you can also check out my patterns on Etsy, on my website, on Amazon. Thank you guys for the support so much. Keep crocheting, guys. I love seeing your work. Please tag me on Instagram too as well, at Knotmonster. I love to see your creations. They're super, super cute. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did making these patterns. And I'll see you guys on the next one.